The best way to not get banned when you're creating a brand new account, and this has happened recently a lot where people are getting banned right away. The best way to do this, I've never had a brand new account get banned on me, knock on wood. Whether or not you're a brand new seller, a seasoned seller, or thinking about starting a second Etsy store, the risk of getting banned is always looming in the darkness. In this video, we're going to talk about every single element I've seen people get banned from and the things that you should do to avoid it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dave. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. I do new videos all the time on e-commerce and Etsy success. And shout out to everybody grabbing the free Etsy cheat sheet in the description below. Let's cover the really easy stuff first. You don't want to sell copyright products. That's a sometimes surprising thing for people. People will sell Pokemon, Disney, all kinds of stuff that's copyrighted. You want to be careful with your phrases and all of the logos, etc. You see a lot of Disney stuff on Etsy, but you can't sell it. You will get banned eventually. Some sellers have the license, but a lot of people don't. My recommendation is to stay away from that stuff completely, because you're always going to be dancing a fine line. And if you're on that fine line, even if you aren't breaking any rules, some, lawyer from that company might come along one day and report you. Etsy doesn't think about it. They just take you down. So I wouldn't dance that fine line. It's a very gray line that you don't really want to mess with. So that's an easy one. Don't sell copyrighted stuff. The second one is a very easy one as well. You have to be in a country that allows for selling on Etsy. Don't try to do a bunch of weird stuff with VPNs and making bank accounts in other countries. All that kind of stuff is just a really murky water, and it eventually ends up in you getting banned anyway. So if you're not in a country that allows for Etsy payments or to sell on Etsy, just move on with life. There's other ways to make money no matter where you live. So just don't sell on Etsy if you aren't approved in that country. So that's an easy one. The third easiest one is don't sell garbage drop shipping products. The popularity of it is rising here on YouTube, where I see YouTubers explicitly teaching you how to break rules and policies on Etsy. Don't do that. Drop shipping on a platform that you're not allowed to drop ship on is just going to lead to a very fickle, if any, success. It's going to be an extremely fickle success where you have to build something up, it gets torn down, build it up again, it gets torn down. It's going to be a very fleeting success, if there's any whatsoever, before you get banned. So just don't drop ship on Etsy. It's pretty simple on the third one there. Now, the fourth one, I see a lot of sellers doing this, even when they're selling products that they are allowed to sell. This one is don't lie about your location. So if you're in the UK and you're selling something that you are allowed to sell, don't lie on your public location on your front page. Don't say you're in the US. Or if you're in a different country that is still allowed to sell on Etsy, don't lie and say that you're in the US. While it can be appealing and it can be tempting to do that, it's just not transparent. And if Etsy makes a mistake or does find something wrong with your store, breaking a policy or whatever that you were knowingly or unknowingly breaking, then that's not going to add to your case whatsoever. They can see what IP you log in from. And if you use a VPN IP addresses are shared by other people. So if they really wanted to dig into it, and now this is complete speculation, I have no idea if they dig that far into it. I actually doubt that now, knowing that Etsy only has like 1,000 something employees. I doubt that they dig into IP address quality as much as maybe they should be, but that is just one thing to think about. And don't lie about your location. That's a big one. So the next one is, if you want to sell print on demand and you are worried about the current mock-up problems that the Etsy community is facing, I have a few tips for you and a few guidelines to go by. So the current hypothesis is that bots are cross-referencing AliExpress and Temu with Etsy, and that's confirmed. Josh Silverman said that within a few days, Etsy created a bot that filters out and bans Etsy listings that were found on Temu and AliExpress. So That's awesome that they have like a system, that they created that system. Like we've been speculating as Etsy sellers for a long time that they should have some kind of system that finds, that cross references, right? But the thing is, he said that they did it within a few days and they had it up and running. And we all know that it resulted in lots of bans that weren't justified. So there should have been human reviews. But going on from there, the fact that they have this bot means you need to be super careful, because this bot could be making a mistake and finding Temu sellers that stole your design and put it on Temu. So it could be a reversed, mistake where a Temu seller steals your design. I've had AliExpress sellers steal my design, my jewelry designs, and have it on AliExpress, steal my photos, blur out my name, do a little Photoshop, and literally steal my designs. So Temu sellers stealing mock-ups and designs from sellers on Etsy, putting it on Temu or AliExpress, the bot thinks that you're the one stealing it and bans you. So you got to be super careful with that. There's essentially no way to get around that until Etsy gets their stuff together and realizes they need a human review on that robot aspect of things. But a word to the wise is you have to be as original as possible with your mockups. So what that translates to is a lot of people are going to be using mockups from Placeit, from Printify, and all these other print-on-demand sources. It's going to take a lot of extra work, but one thing that we should consider is to change maybe the background, with an AI background tool changer that at least will not trigger some kind of bot to say, hey, that falls in a category of everybody else having the same mockup. Don't buy mockups from the first page of Etsy. When you type in print on demand mockups, don't buy those mockups, because if the t-shirt in that photo is, one garment from Gildan, or then the next one but you're actually selling Bella canvas, that wouldn't be good at all. So those mockups are more risky nowadays because of this developing situation. So keep that in mind. You want to be as original as possible. And my recommendation for this would be to change the background with some kind of AI background removal tool. There's lots of them out there. So let's move on to another thing when we're creating a brand new Etsy account. Let's say you want to start your second one, or your third one, or a brand new one. So let's say that you got banned in the past. Now, this is for people that mistakenly got banned. The people that have gotten banned for good reason inevitably could use this information, but I'm specifically speaking to sellers that are allowed to be on the platform. Anything else, it's for educational purposes. But if you got banned in the past, all you would literally need to do is, in terms of the IP address, is go to your internet service provider and say, I want a new router. And explain the situation. I want a new router because I want a new IP address. You check your IP address before you get the new router, after you have a new IP address. That's really simple. That one has been that trick has been around for a long time. If you're banned in terms of your social security number, let's say you're permanently banned and it's unjustified. You were selling something that is allowed to be sold, but you got banned anyway, and you're an innocent person that got totally screwed. This is what you want to do. You can create an LLC if you're in the US. I don't know the logistics of it in other countries, but in the US, you can create a business, an LLC, the most simple one, to get an EIN, an employer identification number, that you put into Etsy instead of your social security number. And then in the seller details, you put in the LLC information as well. And maybe in any other areas where you need to put a name, you can spell your name differently or whatever. My name is Dave. I would put David or something to that degree. So that is one way to do that. If you got banned unjustifiably, then going on from there, the best way to not get banned when you're creating a brand new account, and this has happened recently a lot where people are getting banned right away. The best way to do this, I've never had a brand new account get banned on me, knock on wood. What you want to do is you want to make sure all the addresses line up. The address on the address associated with your debit card, the address associated with your deposit bank info, and the address that you give Etsy, it all needs to be the same. It shouldn't have to be like that, but if you want to avoid getting banned, it needs to be like that. All the addresses need to line up completely. That will allow you to just be a little bit more legit in their eyes. And it helps when this is my conspiracy theory here. This is the conspiracy aspect of it, is that what I do right after I create a new account to avoid this ridiculous immediate ban, because even if you get the account back, which a lot of people do, I don't want to have that like tarnishment, that stain on my account that I got banned and reinstated. Like, I want to avoid that at all costs, and you should too. So what I do, and this is my hypothesis, conspiracy theory, is that right after you create the account that has all the addresses lining up, you go and you buy something from a seller just to show Etsy, like, hey, I'm a real person. I buy stuff. Please keep me. I'm normal. I buy stuff and I have a real address, and look where it's being shipped to. It's in the US, or it's in one of these other countries that are legit to you guys, you know? So that's my conspiracy. Buy something right away after you create a new account. It can be for, like, I bought my dog, the last account I created, I bought my dog a dog tag, $10 or something, you know, super simple, just to show the system that you're real, that you're not some weirdo in some weird country doing weird things. Okay. The behavior needs to look good and your addresses need to line up. So this is a working list. I have a lot more I probably didn't mention that I could think about, but that's everything for this video. And I hope you enjoyed it. Check out the description for the free Etsy ads cheat sheet. Subscribe and like the video, and let me know in the comments what you think about Etsy's ban system, about their bots, about everything involved with getting banned on Etsy. Have a beautiful day.